What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be giving you a buyer's guide on buying a 300ZX, either NA or twin turbo. This will pretty much apply to both. I have owned both a twin turbo and an NA. So I've learned a few things over the years and I just wanted to help you guys out. And a lot of people ask me if they should buy cars or not. So I'm going to give you just a rundown of the basic issues that I see common. So first things first, ask the guy what kind of fuel he puts in the car. This is a big deal. A lot of people don't understand or know about this, but 300ZXs are really supposed to run 93 octane always. Usually 93 is preferred, but I know some places don't have 93, so 91 is kind of the minimum to put in the car. So if the dude says plus and not premium, then walk away. Honestly, it's not worth it. The car's gonna have issues that probably end up needing to be a motor eventually down the road. So if he says anything less than premium, then just be like, okay, thank you, and walk away. Or, you know, go drive it and then just know that you're not gonna buy it, pretty much. I mean, there's some cases where you could, but personally, if he says or she says it's 87 or 89, I would just not even bother buying it. Now, for the next thing, check the oil, guys. I don't know how many times I've sold cars. I probably sold about 9 or 10 cars in my life. Most of them have been performance cars, and most people don't check the oil. Like, what? It's so easy on these cars. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say it's so easy on these cars, but it's not hard to check the oil, and that's gonna tell you a lot about the vehicle. So, the oil dipstick is right here on the 300ZX. There's the motor. You pull it out and then you check it. I would recommend bringing a rag so that you can wipe it off, but yeah, no, you need to bring a rag so you can wipe it off, or your shirt, I guess, or pants or whatever. But check the oil, guys. I don't know why people don't check the oil. If it's low on oil, then you know it has oil leaks, or they just didn't put the right amount of oil in it, and you know, hey, maybe I shouldn't get this car because it has no oil in it. But yeah, so the third thing is on these 300ZXs, I would make sure it has a version 2 PTU, because the version 1 always goes out. So I will put a picture right here of the version 1, and then I will show you right here the version 2. Now this isn't something that it has to be done, but just know that you're going to have to buy version 2 somewhere along the lines, because it commonly goes out like all the time. Like I've gone through 2 Gen 1 PTUs in like a month. So just an idea. There was a recall on them, so most vehicles have had them replaced, but the version 2, or both of them, mount here. Mine's relocated for convenience, but I'll show you mine. So this is what the version 2 looks like. As you can see, the version 1 connections are here and here. The version 2 has these connections, and they connect to here, and you just plug them in and you're good to go. I just tuck mine down here. I don't know why. It's where the owner had it before, the original one, and then I had the Gen 2, so I bought a Gen 2, and I've had no issues for about a month and a half now. So I would highly recommend getting or buying one with it already, just because then you have to source one, and they're about $100 used. New, I think they're like 200 or 3, but I usually go with this used because usually it's pretty good. Okay, so now another thing, I think this is the fourth thing to check for, is if you're buying a twin turbo, check for blow by and how much blow by. So typically the main points of blow by are going to be out of if they have a boost controller, the blow by will leak out here, or you can check down by their blow off valves if they have blow off valves right there, and there will be oil residue underneath there. I just cleaned these, but usually there's oil there. That one's fine. So check the blow by to just see how long you have with the turbos. More blow by, that means the turbos are going to go out sooner. Now next, check for exhaust smoke. That's obviously given. If you see it smoking, then you know that it's either burning coolant or oil, so you got an issue. Next things next, check the radiator for basic leaks. It will leak there, and then check the piping over here to make sure there's no leaks, and just the basic stuff so you can see. Also, I'd recommend getting a car with an EGR delete. It'll save you in the long run. Usually there'd be a tube connecting to the back right here, but this has a block off plate, so it's been deleted. Also, just look in the top of the motor and see if you can see oil residue. I know I can see some like down there a little bit, but will show if your valve cover is leaking. Also, check around the power steering pump down in here to make sure it's not leaking a ton of power steering fluid. And that's just the basics on like what you need to look for. I'm trying to think of some other key things to look for. I know that they have an ECU diagnostic that you can run on the vehicle. Now, a lot of people don't know this, and I didn't know this for a good while, but you can actually check a few codes or see if any codes are on the ECU. Most of the time, they're probably not gonna throw a check engine light, at least for me. I had some codes on here, and never even threw a check engine light, so you might not even know. But that's pretty simple as well. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do that. Right now, the easiest way, there's a harder way to do it from the ECU, but this is probably the easiest way. So you take like a paper clip or a wire, and then you come down underneath the dash. There's gonna be a little connector right there, as you can see. So you put the wire in the bottom flat side. There's a flat side, and then there's a groove side on top. You're gonna put it in this side over here, one on the top and one on the bottom. But yeah, and then just check like basic things. Move the steering wheel, make sure there's no weird noises, make sure that there's no pops or grinds in the transmission. Unless you really don't know how to drive stick too well, then it might grind because you're not doing it right. But as long as you know how to drive stick well, when you drive the car, it should not grind or have any issues. Weird sounds, stuff like that. Oh, another thing, check, I don't know, ask if the T-tops leak. He's probably gonna lie to you and say they don't, and they probably do. So just know the T-tops are going to leak. Not all the times, but I've had 3 and 2 out of the 3 have leaked. So just know that. You can ask him, but most people every time has said doesn't leak, and they leak. Another common issue is the door locks break on the driver's side door. You insert the key and it won't unlock or lock it. I've had all 3 of them have those issues. So just know I never got told about any of them. So they're probably not going to tell you about that. So make sure that works. Or just know you're going to have to go on the passenger side to crawl in and unlock your door. Or I think Z1 sells the piece that usually breaks on these cars. Also, check to make sure the fuel door opens, because I know a lot of them don't work. The hatch, make sure that opens. Make sure the hatch struts are good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just look at how well the engine bay is cleaned. If it looks nice, then it's usually nice. If it looks bad, then it's probably bad. That's kind of like, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. But at the end of the day, if he takes care of the motor, then you know he probably does the regular maintenance. If the motor looks like complete garbage, then he might or might not do the regular maintenance. Interior, it's pretty much just a hit or miss. I know these pillars always have issues. They always come down. All 3 of them had that issue. A lot of the Z's don't have the top covers. Luckily this one did. But I think that's it, guys. That's some of the basic things that I've seen and heard about from the Z32 chassis. Now, if there's anything else that has happened to you or you know that is common, go ahead and comment that down below so people can see. So I guess if you're watching this video and you're the one looking for a 300ZX, look down at the comments, because there'll probably be more stuff down there about what to look for. And yeah, guys, hopefully you guys decide to buy a 300ZX. They're amazing cars, and truly love this car, and I hope to keep owning one forever. Even when I'm like 80, I'm just gonna like hop in. I know this video is more based on the twin turbo, but most of the stuff you can basically correlate with the NA. The only thing that's different really is the turbos, and that's pretty much the big thing that's different. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching.